male-dominated world of golf, a great athlete emerges who defies all expectations, not just on the golf course but far beyond it. How did a failed female athlete become the most popular non-professional golfer in the golfing world? And why did she have to quit professional golf while she was so talented? Let's talk about the heartbreaking story of Paige Spiranac, born in 1993 in Wheat Ridge, Colorado. Paige Spiranac's early life was a blend of natural talent and learned discipline, a legacy of her parents' athletic prowess. Her father, Dan Spiranac, a passionate former football player at the Pittsburgh Panthers football team, and her mother, Annette, a professional ballerina, provided a dynamic environment that fueled Paige's early love for sports. Their influence was huge, with her father's competitive nature and her mother's artistic discipline shaping her approach to athletics. Paige's first experience with sports was gymnastics, where she quickly made a name for herself. Her performances were not just about being technically perfect, but also about having a unique style that reflected her mother's ballet background. This fusion of strength and grace caught the eye. Judges seemed to love it, and all her coaches saw her potential to be a really great athlete. However, Paige's journey was not without its trials. She was diagnosed with alopecia areata, a condition that leads to unpredictable and often patchy hair loss. For a young athlete in gymnastics, where beauty and looks play a big role, this was a serious challenge. The impact of this disease affected more than just her physique. It was a test of her mental determination. Paige faced not only the struggle with her condition, but also the cruelty of bullying about the way she looked. Kids began laughing at her and calling her a boy. This period marked a crucial juncture in her life, deeply affecting her self-esteem and forcing a re-evaluation of her identity in a sport where appearance is often unfairly emphasized. Paige excelled in all she did. She was winning gymnastics competitions every weekend and taking home numerous prizes for her impressive high jump skills. Despite her awful illness and asthma, Paige was doing quite well for herself. However, when everything seems to be going well, a terrific thunderclap sounds. Paige shattered her kneecap after landing awkwardly during a routine workout one day in training. Doctors said it was a highly rare fracture and strongly advised her to quit gymnastics before she might lose her ability to walk. But Paige didn't listen and went right back to work with the same intensity. Gymnastics was over for Paige, not knowing what to do in this moment of life. It was during this period of uncertainty and recovery that Paige's father, recognizing her essential athletic abilities and the need for a change of direction, introduced her to golf. At the age of 12, Paige discovered in golf a new world, one that offered a sense of comfort and a fresh start. The golf course became her sanctuary, a quiet place where she could heal both physically and emotionally, away from the pressures and judgments she had faced in gymnastics. Paige's late start in golf did not hinder her progress. Instead, it seemed to fuel her determination. Her natural talent, combined with the discipline and resilience she had developed in gymnastics, allowed her to quickly ascend the ranks in junior golf. She played against the best girls in the world. The other children and parents were amazed at how long she had been playing. Paige began winning many junior competitions and then even made it into the world's top 20 juniors. This blossoming talent led to a major milestone in her golf career: a scholarship to Arizona State University, where she joined the Wildcats. Unfortunately, there was something not quite right. Paige was not playing at her best when she scored her best score of 73 that year. She chose to move to San Diego State University, where she felt a lot more comfortable, showing her full potential as a golfer. With her newfound confidence, Paige was able to feel like herself again. The team meant something special to her, and in her senior year, the Aztecs won their first ever Mountain West Conference championship. Fast forward to 2015, Paige received an invitation to compete in the Match Play Championship of the Colorado Women's Golf Association at the Raccoon Creek Golf Course. After an excellent 9-under par score, she reached the final and defeated Brittany Lang to bring home the trophy. Paige was happy, and her life was good after a hard childhood, but this next chapter shows her a side she didn't know was there. It was an article on a well-known college fraternity website that catapulted Paige into the spotlight by confessing their undying love for her. This became widely shared and introduced her to a broader audience, far beyond the confines of the golfing community. She went from 300 Instagram followers to 150,000 followers overnight. Like a girl who didn't get much attention as a child, this was very different. With this newfound fame came a mix of experiences. On a personal front, It brought love into her life in the form of a relationship with Steven Tinoco, a minor league baseball player. He once asked for a picture when they met at Topgolf and sent it on Instagram shortly after. He kept coming back to her, and they started dating soon after. Professionally, Paige's journey was a roller coaster of highs and lows. She started playing on the Cactus Tour, where she achieved notable victories. After her third attempt, Paige won at the Orange Tree Country Club in Scottsdale, where she defeated Hannah O'Sullivan, who was ranked first in the world at the time. Her first season on the tour was outstanding, with a win, several top 10 and top 25 finishes, including a runner-up finish that earned her just over $8,000 in prize money. The sad truth about the women's game right now is that Paige was asked to more events than she was qualified for because of the clothes she wore and her continued rise on social media. In 2015, she was asked to Dubai to play in the Dubai Omega Classic, which was the first event on the European tour. Even though her game wasn't in shape that week, there were other things to be happy about. On the weekend, Paige's boyfriend Steve proposed and asked her to spend the rest of her life with him. She said yes, and Paige was beaming as she left the country with a diamond on her finger. However, these triumphs were intermixed with challenges in the LPGA qualifying tournaments, where setbacks tested her resilience and commitment to the sport. Paige participated in her first LPGA qualification event in August 2016 in an attempt to secure a spot on the LPGA Tour, but was not successful in earning her card. She received an invitation to return to the Dubai Classic, but with a round of 77 and 80 scoring 13 over par, she didn't make the cut. Her mind was obviously not in the right place, and everything would unravel in a touching press conference after the round, where Paige would open up and break down live on television while informing the world that she has been suffering from severe cyberbullying and depression as a result of it. She was made fun of for the outfits she wore on the course, death threats were made against her, and even her family was called out for how she was brought up. This was the most daunting aspect of her rise to fame and the often unseen pressures faced by athletes in the public eye. Eventually, she couldn't take it anymore and gave up her dream of becoming a full-time professional golfer. After a period of radio silence, Paige was at the beginning of a new chapter, where she channeled her experiences and influence into broader, impactful initiatives. One of Paige's most notable roles was as an ambassador for CyberSmile, a nonprofit organization dedicated to combating cyberbullying. She used her platform to reach as many people as possible who are facing similar challenges of online harassment. But it didn't end there. Other businesses were moved by the story and saw something in Paige that made them want to help. She made deals with Parsons Extreme Golf to advertise on TV and social media. She also became an ambassador for the golf app 18 Birdies and worked with clothing and watch companies. There was no stopping her in her fight for women's rights, promoting gender equality and inclusivity in sports, particularly in the traditionally male-dominated world of golf. Sadly, the LPGA wasn't very helpful in her battle. In 2017, they made the dress code even stricter, which caused an enormous commotion in the women's game. Paige was angry, so she wrote a column that said, "The progress of women's golf is plunging further than our necklines." Paige's journey took an even more audacious turn when she became a swimsuit model for Sports Illustrated. This decision to embrace her body and sexuality on her own terms was a bold statement in an industry often criticized for its rigid and narrow standards of beauty. In just 2 years, she went from being a sad girl who was picked on to a strong, confident woman who made a difference. A lot of people didn't like it, and no one agreed on whether it was right or wrong for the game. Her answer was amazing. "I finally got back what was mine. I took back my body. I took back my sexuality, and you guys want to see sexy? I'm going to do sexy, and I'm going to do sexy my way." People tried to bring her down from every angle, but nothing bothered her anymore. The more trouble she caused, the better. She did this for the women, not just herself. She started using all kinds of social media, and now she has more fans than Tiger Woods. With a net worth of $5 million, she currently earns $20,000 for an Instagram post, in contrast to the $8,000 she earned in 1 year with the LPGA. There will always be debate, but Paige is doing great things for the game, women's rights, and the empire she has already built. Maxim magazine named her the sexiest woman living in 2022, and she now has more money than she ever would have made playing on the LPGA Tour. She will never have to play professional golf again,